Hello everyone. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Alright, let's see what we got for you right now. We have a car that in some countries it was called one way, in the different countries it was called a different way. But this is a car that was mostly for the North American market, which I mean, these cars were not really sold outside of United States, Canada, and Mexico. You've probably seen them in different countries, but maybe it was an export. But they're not really cars that were meant to be sold outside of those countries. Maybe some other Latin American country probably see them, but they were not that common. Now, what we got in front of you right now is the 143 scale 1988 Chevrolet Cutlass. Now, the reason I say why is it called differently in some other countries, because only in Mexico this model specifically, the one that we're looking at right now, it was a Chevrolet. In the rest of the world, most likely America and Canada, it was actually an Oldsmobile. But in Mexico, it was exported as a Chevrolet Cutlass. And this car was a total phenomenon, especially for the North American market. It was for North America was one of the best selling Oldsmobiles of all time. They used to sell like hotcakes. This model right here for many years. It was the typical car that you didn't want to pay a lot of money, but you needed a big car. So they were not that expensive. I mean, they were expensive, but not as expensive as other brands. But they were big and, big trunk, spacious. So they were very, very popular. And you still see them on the roads. You don't see many of them. This car already has 35 years. You don't see many of them, but you still see them on the road. Like I said, this is a Mexican model because there's a series of 143 scales that came out for the. It's like a collection of Mexican cars, and you didn't see this issue, not issue. You didn't see this situation more than just one car. There's a few other cars that I noticed. Like example, just to let you know in the future, another one is the Ford Thunderbird. Not the Ford Thunderbird. I'm sorry, the Mercury Cougar. They also had it as a Ford Cougar in Mexico. The model of the Mercury, but they sold it as Ford. And there's other models too that you're gonna see, and I'll bring it up to the video when I get to them. But right now we're talking about this Chevrolet slash Oldsmobile. For me, it's kind of hard to call it a Chevrolet because I never seen them as a Chevrolet. I always seen them as a Oldsmobile. But hey, it's curious. It's good to know. I didn't even know about it until I saw these diecast, and I said, "Why? This must be a misprint." And I started investigating. I said, "Oh, in Mexico they were called Chevrolet Cutlass." One thing I do not know is Oldsmobile altogether was actually ever sold in Mexico. The brand. Um, if anyone knows, let me know in the comments, please. If Oldsmobile was ever sold in Mexico and as an Oldsmobile, different models. Now, detail wise, is perfect. I gotta say to you guys, as I remember them, even the ornament, the hood ornament in the top, the grill, the bumper with the black in cover. I mean, trim around. Everything's specifically like the way it was in real life. Everything is just a replica. It's perfectly made. Great, great example of a real car. I love it. I truly, truly love it. Alright, guys, so I'm going to let it go around a few times so you can have a nice look at it. And I'll be right back. Alright, guys, so I'm back. So, what do you guys think about this car? Do you remember them? Now, do you actually ever seen them as a Chevrolet? Yeah, let me know in the comments, Were they actually ever sold in your country? Maybe I was wrong. Because my understanding, they were not sold outside of North America altogether. But most likely I could be wrong. I'm human. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this car. Do you like it? Does it bring you memories of when you're younger and your grandma had one of these? Because I remember a lot of grandparents had these. They were very typical with the grandparents on the back in the 90s and 80s and the early 2000s. They're that typical grandpa grandma car. But I like them. Before I didn't. When I was younger, I was like, oh, they're so bland, they're so boring. But now they're classics, and I like them. Don't forget to give me a nice thumbs up, guys. I will really, really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to click and subscribe, and do not forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button. And comment below. Let me know what you think about this diecast. Have you ever drove one in real life, this model? Or you collect them like me and you collect diecast? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Have a great rest of your day, morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. Goodbye.